Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video, the last of this season's league racing videos. So the penultimate round last time was the Nürburgring at the Nürburgring GP track, and now we are at the Catalonia GP track for the last round. So yeah, let's see what we can get out of the championship here. I think at the moment here we were about 5th or 4th, so if we can just hold on to something like that, or even get a podium, that'd be really nice as well. But I think due to some unfortunate results and just not really getting on with the car in some of the conditions, we've fallen back from the absolutely rapid JDM and Marma. Anyway, on to our fastest lap in qualifying then. We've done a 45.3, so not really brilliant laps at all. I do need to point out though that this round was, the track temperature was 38 degrees, so I think the hottest it's ever been all season. It's one of the hottest conditions I've ever raced in. So if you start to see the tyres climb up into the yellow and the pressure's climbing towards near 29 psi, I wouldn't say it's normal, it's not great, but it's somewhat normal for the pressures to spike in temperatures, track temperatures far less. So yeah, coming through the fast right, we've got Cousteau in front of us in the Porsche. He was very quick, but I believe he's on an out lap here, or it's certainly not a flyer, so he is going to hopefully scooch out the way, but he might be on a flyer, so we might just sit behind, learn a few things from him, learn a few lines, and see what we can do. But you can see we're about 2 tenths up going into the last sector here. Tricky sector with the chicane at the end here. I can use a little bit of curb in this car, but ideally I don't want to hit those sausage curves. So we're 2 and a bit tenths up, 2 tenths as we round out the last corner, and that's going to put us on a 45.120. So not a great lap honestly, but in the conditions not too bad. But you can see the best there was a 44.4, which I think potentially in another car, certainly like the Audi or a Ferrari, that could have been possible. But yeah, 45.1 wasn't great, but it puts us 6th out of 12, so right in the middle of the pack, and we're going to go for lights out and green flag here.
Green light, give it all you can.
Now, so behind the Lamborghini, we're going to try and get a tow. We've got GL Litchi, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but side by side with us, we're 3 wide, very close to Marma and the Lexus there, and it's going to get very tight. You can see the Lambo almost hits Cousteau in the Porsche up ahead. We're side by side, and there's contact there with MX, and it all gets very bunched up into turn 3. I'm trying to pick what line is best, what line loses me the least amount of time, but it's very difficult. You can see the 3 wide again with Marma. On the outside at turn 4, this is not going to go in my favour. Yuri up the inside there. Super move by Yuri. He's going to go side by side with Marma. Marma's not going to give him a lot of room there, and Yuri retaliates a little bit, but I don't know, I think that was a racing incident there. They both sort of went to the same apex, and unfortunately for Yuri, he's the one who gets spun around in the Ferrari. So the brick of a Lexus fights on for another day. You can see, look how close this top 6 are. We've broken away a little bit from the another 6 behind us, led by ACB and Axel. And this start of the race, these first 20 minutes or so, this top 6 was insanely close on pace. So the Lambo out in front at the minute due to the contact with Cousteau and MX Bloxham, but yeah, we're going to try and keep on this pack, because if everything goes in my favour, an easy top 3 could be possible here, if not a win. But we're going to have to see how the car copes race pace wise, because in quali we were quite a long way off, about 7 tenths off MX. So yeah, we're going to have to conjure up something magical in Mindley here. Sticking behind Marma in the Lexus. That Lexus is incredibly fast down the straight, so this is where he's likely to be quickest on the lap, but through the slow speed stuff and through the corners, Lexus is a bit of a brick. So you can see we gain on the brakes there, but he gains on exit as I almost go into the back of him. Through the long right of 3, almost seems to go on forever in a GT3 car, and is definitely not flat like in an F1 car. So yeah, it requires quite a bit of throttle modulation. But yeah, into turn 4, again another patience corner as it's very slippery on exit. You see we're keeping with Mama. Mama's sort of slowly dropping away a little bit from the guys in front. Yeah, maybe a tenth or two, but it could make all the difference because the top 4 break away and I'm stuck behind Mama. That could be race over really for any good points position. So yeah, we've got to be mindful of who we're fighting in the championship here as well, because Mama is certainly one of them, but newbies like Cousteau and the GL guys, they're not, this is their first or second race, so they're unlikely to be fighting for the championship. But it's unlikely we're going to be fighting for the championship win, but if we can get a podium or even a 4th place out of it, it'll be pretty good considering some of the unluckiness we've had in races such as the second sprint at Kyalami where we just got taken out. But yeah, keeping up with this top 6, I mean look at this group, it's insane the amount of fighting that's going on. I mean it does look like almost a DRS train in F1, but in GT3 there is of course no DRS, so it's all about slipstreaming and keeping nice and close behind. Mama gets a good exit out to the final corner and is slipstreaming Cousteau in that Porsche, who really has no defence in that car with the lack of straight line speed that thing has. And Mama goes up the inside in his chicane, and there's not a lot Cousteau can really do about that. But what it does do is it brings us back into the fight. We were dropping off just a little bit, but because of the fighting we can now get right back onto the Porsche. You can see we're right on Cousteau. He's going to defend to the inside, is he? No, we're going to send it right up the inside at turn 4. He tries to hang it around the outside, and we're still side by side as we go into the hairpin to the left. Coming down into the braking zone, we've got to get this right. Are we going to try and hang it around the outside? No, we can't quite do that. The Porsche's handling is too good for that. So Cousteau stays in front for the minute. So the top 6 are broken away now. We're just 5 seconds ahead of ACB in the Bentley there. But there's still good chance for points as MX is only just a corner ahead. You can see the pack going through the fast right at turn 9. And yeah, right on the back here, it's all to play for. We're 5/10 up on our best lap, which is at 47.1, so due to all this squabbling in this pack, the lap times aren't that great, really, at this point. Into the final sector then we go, and yeah, it's all line astern. There's not necessarily many overtakes happening all the time due to the nature of the track. I mean, you see this in F1 where people sort of, because of this final chicane, unless you get a good exit out of the chicane, there's not really a lot you can do, because the straight just isn't quite long enough for a pass sometimes. You see Dean's got drive-through behind, don't really need to worry about that. We just need to keep with this pack, just about doing. We were 2 tenths quicker than Cousteau in front on that lap, and a couple of laps later we are right back onto the back of him. He sort of drops off from 3 that are in front. MX has sort of ran away a little bit when he dispatched of the Lambo up ahead, and I think Lucifer that is in the Lambo. But we are keeping nicely with Cousteau here, and if those 3 up ahead really start to fight, then we could definitely be right back in it. So I was a bit torn here because I was like, okay, I feel like I'm a little bit quicker than Cousteau, but do I want to fight him too hard when we're probably a very similar pace to the 3 guys in front, and potentially have a chance at much better position in this race. You see, we've only done 10 minutes in this race, and already the pack just hasn't spread out yet. It's really, really nice and close. So coming up towards turn 9 again, the fast right, probably the best corner on the track in my opinion. Nice and fast, 3rd gear, using all the curve on exit. Cousteau runs a little bit wide there, kicking up a tiny bit of gravel, but doesn't give us an opportunity to go for a lunge on the brakes, although he does go a little bit wide of the apex, which brings us another tenth or 2 closer. You can see they're fighting up ahead, the 3. This is what me and Cousteau were hoping for, that the 3 in front would fight, so we could join in on that battle. And it is the fight for second at this point. MX has run away a little bit, but the fight for second is still on. So it could be, if we, drive this to absolute perfection and get our pit stop absolutely right, there's a chance for second here, even if this car doesn't quite have the pace to be there on the pace. So yeah, in the slipstream, you can see we're going to gain on the Porsche here because the Porsche is absolutely dreadful in a straight line. This thing is not the quickest, but you can see just how much we gain there. And on the brakes again, gaining on the three in front. Marma looking for a way past the GL guy in the Ferrari. And yeah, really looking for a move because that Lexus is quick down the straights. He knows where that car's quick. He knows where the Ferrari's quick. He drove it a few seasons ago before I joined the league. But yeah, look, you see, almost getting up the inside of the Ferrari. Ourselves having a bit of a wobble out of turn 4, trying to get past Cousteau, because we know that if I can get past Cousteau, I can fight Marma for this third, second, maybe first place by the end of the race. Who knows? But yeah, let's go into the chicane of 8. And Marma goes wide. He makes a mistake. Cousteau getting on the outside of turn 9. It's not going to go in his favour. He's going to have to back out. And we're in the prime position to capitalise on this. We're going to go inside. There's a gap that opens up. Cousteau doesn't quite cover it enough. And we're going to hit our braking point just before the 100 ball and slot the car up inside. And we are into 5th place with Marma and the Lamborghini and the Ferrari just ahead. So yeah, position gain there. And that position gain could be absolutely crucial in this race, because it could decide whether I come 5th, 6th, or even 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So let's see. You see gaining on Marma out of the chicane there. He didn't have a great run. You're going to watch the straight line speed of that Lexus. He's actually almost going to pull away from me, even despite me being in the slipstream. So I'm not really gaining much at all, and it doesn't allow me to go for a move. But Marma having a look on the inside. I have the Lambo, and they are now side by side going into the final sector. We've broken away from Cousteau a little bit, so we were a bit quicker. And they're going to go side by side. Marma almost pulls off a lovely move around the outside, but the Lambo gets traction, and I believe they just sort of, again, like earlier in the race with Marma and Yuri, they sort of just meet in the middle. It doesn't look like the Lambo really had the grip to turn into the apex when it wanted to, and Marma was going to take the apex as normal. So they clash in the middle there, and we have to take evasive action. Good reactions there to not hit the Lambo spun in the middle of the track, and to not lose too much time either. But it does mean that Cousteau unfortunately has gained about a second out of that, as he was not directly behind like I was that fight. But it's another position for us. We're up into 3rd. Marma is now 2nd then, so we are, as I said before, potentially fighting for 2nd place in this race. MX is way down. He's in 5th now because of that contact earlier on in the race. And when people pit, so the GL guy in the Ferrari, he pitted, we are actually 2nd, and Marma is in the lead. So we are fighting potentially for the lead here. We can see Cousteau right behind. He's going to have a little look on the outside at the hairpin, but if we just park it on the apex, there's not really a lot he can do. And we hold on to our 2nd position for now, but we're having to push quite hard. We're at the end of our tyre life on this stint. We've done about near on 30 minutes, 40 minutes we're going to have to do on each set of tyres. And when that front left is yellow and at 28.4 psi with Cousteau attacking us again into this hairpin on the outside, though, we're going to have to hold on for dear life here, and it's going to be a difficult stint on these, to the end of the stint on these tyres. And you can see Marma actually has extended away just because of the sheer cliff that these tyres have actually dropped off on. So yeah, Cousteau clearly not struggling quite as much as me on tyres. The Porsche usually kills its rear tyres before it kills its front tyres, so he might struggle slightly later on in the race. But you can see, Cousteau getting so close into the hairpin. I think he misjudged the braking zone a little bit behind me, and thankfully didn't hit us there, and good avoiding action from him there to keep it nice and clean. And it would pretty much stay that way for the rest of the race. It would be pretty clean between us. Some good fights. It's pretty difficult to overtake around here, so it ends up the racing being a little bit of a stalemate, but nonetheless it's been a great season finale here at Catalonia, with the top 6 being so close for the first 20 minutes or so. And you can see about 10 minutes later, we still haven't shook off Cousteau. He's, despite him making a couple of mistakes in this race, I think just the overall pace advantage he had over me allowed him to stay on the back of me. You can see our last lap was a 47.3, so I'm running wide there into the gravel a little bit. We are right at the end of this tyre's life, so I believe we are going to pit either this lap or next lap. Yeah, we are going to pit this lap. And Cousteau almost goes in the back of us there just because of the nature of the pit entry. I have to take a slower second apex to get into the pit lane, and we're going to just make sure not to speed, and then we're going to go into our pit box. So it's going to be really crucial with this pit stop whether we come out in front of Cousteau or behind him, because this pit stop could decide whether we are actually second or third in this race. Stopping on our jacks, and straight up we go for that 30-second tyre change pit stop and some fuel. And with the magic of editing again, a 30-second pit stop is down to about a second. Yeah, we come out ahead of MX. We sort of expected that would happen. He was having a pretty torrid race from that contact at the start, and just hasn't really got his way. So we're not really fighting him, but who we are fighting is Cousteau, who has yet to make his pit stop. He is in second, behind Marmon. There we go, halfway through the race at this point. And when Cousteau pitted, he actually came out about 5 seconds behind me. But he's already, with 60 minutes to go, so in about half an hour or so, he gained that 5 seconds back on me, and is right on my gearbox again. So it's almost deja vu, like with Luke at the Nürburgring. We're going to have to defend for the last 20 minutes or so of this race to keep our second place. Let's hope we can keep it nice and clean to the end, and see where we end up. But yeah, I think my saving grace here was actually the Bentley was pretty good out of that final corner, that chicane, better than the Porsche. So with the Porsche's lack of straight line speed, there's not a lot he could really do to get past me. So that helped us there. If any other car, I reckon Cousteau would have got past us. Certainly if he was in, say, a Lexus or a Ferrari, something really good straight line speed, I reckon he would have got past by now. But just because the Bentley is just holding on with that straight line speed, Cousteau there with a slight mistake on the exit is unable to get past. But he's setting us up for the chicane. We went a little bit wide on the previous corner, but despite that, the torque of the Bentley allows us in second gear to get out of that chicane nice and quickly, which is really nice. But yeah, going on to the final couple of laps of this race, Cousteau right behind us. We're doing 47.8, or I'm at least doing 47.8, he's doing 47.0s at this point, so track temperature really having an effect on the tyres, and of course then lap time. So yeah, we're going to have to just see if we can hold on here for the last about 90 seconds of this race. Let's see what we can do. Just gone through turn 3, we survived there. He's 3/10 behind. Into turn 4, no place he can go there. Into this hairpin, he's had a look here previously in the race, but can he go for it here? No, he's not quite close enough, but you can see he's setting us up. He's trying to get a good exit. We get a decent exit with the torque of the Bentley. That is really helping us on exit through the chicane of 7 and 8. Then second gear in these cars. It's mad that F1 cars can take those in about 4th and 5th gear. Into the fast right of 9. This is where the Porsche will be quick. And you can see on the radar there, gains slightly and has a very good exit. We might have to defend slightly into this hairpin, but we decide not to. Porsche again struggling with its straight line speed, so cannot get through. We lock up slightly as we try to defend the apex, and we actually cut him off nicely there. But it leaves us very vulnerable onto the second bit. He goes up the inside. I tried to give him the space. There's a tiny bit of contact, and to be fair, I don't think that's either of us fault. It's certainly not Cousteau's, because I left in space. He tried to go up the inside, and it was just, we sort of met in the middle. But he gives me the place either way, and we are just about going to hold on to second. So until then, it was a really good race, and to be fair, the contact was very small, and we're going to hold on to come another second place. So yeah, a good result there, and yeah, pretty nice end to the championship there. We finish in 4th place for the season, so yeah, not bad in the Bentley, but we're going to see if we can do better next season, because I reckon we can try and go for the win next season. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed that, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate any of the support. Hope you've enjoyed this season of league racing in the Bentley, and I hope to see you for the next season, where there might be a change of car. I'll let you know in the next video. But yeah, sub up if you enjoyed, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next league racing video. Goodbye.
Just